So if you have a business in Canada or you're planning on starting a business and you already have a business name registered or you're wanting to register a business name, how do you actually get that business name protected, at least in Canada? Well, it does depend a little bit on the legal structure of the business, and I will get into that. But for starters, you're not supposed to conduct business and market yourself under a business name unless you actually have that business name officially registered. And I can't speak for every single province, every single territory, but typically the way it works is that if you are conducting business under an unregistered business name, there can be penalties for doing that. So make sure you do register the business name that you are conducting business under, marketing yourself under. So when it comes to business names, there are legal names and trade names. So if you are conducting a business as a self-employed individual, as a sole proprietorship, or with another partner or multiple partners in a partnership, then the legal entity behind that business is yourself, the human entity, or if you have a partnership, you and the other human entities. So when it comes to human entities conducting business, they can just register a trade name to themselves. Whereas with a corporation, you can actually incorporate a business and give it a word name, which becomes a new legal entity, and the word name becomes the legal name of the entity. Whereas for humans, it's just your personal legal name. So for example, my personal legal name is Joshua, that's my first name. I have the trade name registered to myself, Magnaltis Consulting. So I have the right to operate or conduct business under that trade name. My business is not incorporated, but if I wanted to, I could set up my business as a corporation and call my corporation Magnaltis Consulting Ltd. And now that becomes the legal name of my business. As of right now, the legal name of my business is just my personal legal name, and I have my trade name that I can operate under. So hopefully that makes sense, but now I will explain how you can actually protect that name. So when it comes to trade names in Canada are issued on a provincial basis. So if your business is in Saskatchewan, like mine is, you register your trade name with the business registry or the corporate registry in Saskatchewan. If you're in BC, the same thing with their business registry or their corporate registry. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, whatever that may be. So whether it's a sole proprietorship or a partnership, you're registering the trade name provincially. And if you register a trade name provincially under an unincorporated business, then typically that trade name is protected in that province and only in that province. And this can vary a little bit. I know that in Alberta, they don't really have much for protection when it comes to trade names for unincorporated entities. But in most provinces, if you register that trade name, the corporate registry will not let other people register that exact same trade name or something very similar. They will protect you. So if you do have that name registered in your province and then you see someone else operating under the exact same name or something similar, chances are they didn't even register it, and therefore they're not supposed to be doing that. And you can report them, you can file a complaint. Now, if you want better name protection than just in your province, the best way to do that typically is to set up your business as a corporation and make it a federal corporation. So when you're incorporating in Canada, you have the choice. Do you want to set that up as a provincial corporation or a federal corporation? If you set up your corporation as a provincial corporation and it either has a word name as the legal name or a word name as a registered trade name, then again, just like a sole proprietorship or a partnership, that name that's registered in the province for the corporation is protected in that province. It's not protected across Canada. So if you want that expanded protection across Canada, then what you need to do is incorporate your business with Corporations Canada, which makes a federal corporation. And with corporations, you can either set them up under a numbered name like 1226742 Canada Ltd, or you could choose a word name like True North Plumbing Ltd or something like that. Now, if it's your goal to protect the name of the business, then it's super important that when you incorporate, you apply for the word name first and get it approved. And then when you incorporate, you use that approved word name to incorporate and make that the legal name of the corporation. If you make that word name the legal name of the corporation, then that legal name, that word name is protected across Canada. So no other corporation in Canada can register a trade name or incorporate under that same business name or something similar. Now, if you go with a numbered name for a federal corporation and later you want to add a trade name, then you actually do that on a provincial basis. So anytime you register a trade name on a provincial basis, again, it's just protected provincially. So that is the best way to protect your business name across Canada, is to federally incorporate using an approved word name. And now if you see anyone else using that word name after you federally incorporated, then you can file a complaint. You can, send a letter from a lawyer to them or whatever, but typically you're going to be protected so that they can't actually register that name. But a lot of people don't even realize that you have to register a name, and they start conducting business under a name that's not even registered or incorporated. Now, another option that is available if you want further protection is filing a trademark in Canada. And now for this, I'm going to read directly from the Canadian government's website on trademarks. It says, a trade name is the name of your business. A trade name can be registered under the Trademarks Act only if it is also used as a trademark. That is, if it is used to identify goods or services. So a business name can't always be trademarked in itself unless it is also describing a good or a service. So there are some limitations there, but ultimately if you want your business name protected across Canada, then typically the best way to do that is by federally incorporating with a word name. And now if that's not that important to you, like you're just fine with having your business name protected provincially, then I probably wouldn't bother federally incorporating, because it is more work, it is more money, it is more, maintenance to do so. So this is only if you really want to maximize the protection of your business name across Canada. So hopefully this video was useful. If so, please click like. I will leave some links in the video description below for more details on this stuff. And feel free to check out my YouTube channel here, where I currently have about 290 videos that cover business management and business startup topics. Many of them are focused on Canadian specific content, and then also Saskatchewan specific content, which is where I'm based out of.